Hello, people. Here I am. It's Monday, the 30th of December. We're rolling out of this year. What a year it's been. Jostaberry T-shirt. Cheers. So the first thing to share is that yes, I've been on a roll with music producing and making, and yes, I did upload a brand new album to my Bandcamp site called Abstracts. But I made it. It's a free download. Some people are buying it, which I love that. But I'm being realistic, which is I just put out three CDs for sale. But I've said it before. I um I have a backlog. Not really a backlog. I have a lot of material. I produce a lot of music and sounds, and so part of what got me going here is I'm obsessive to a degree. Part of what got me going with putting out this new selection of material, which is Soundworks and some music, is that on my Bandcamp site, as I shared with you, I discovered that they upgraded my status to pro, and I never requested it or anything. But when that happened, I looked and saw that I have more options for using the site. I don't make more money, but I have more options, and one of them was that I could upload videos to the releases, the individual. If the albums have videos associated, you can upload them. So I went through and added videos where I could to releases, but then saw that there were several more where I had made these collage type videos using some free to use footage and other stuff that I just thought was interesting and don't necessarily have permission for. And that's why I generally don't upload those for general use because I'm not trying to make money on them. The videos were made for my entertainment. And I'd made quite a few videos for the Soundworks, actually, at least over 10. So, and then I'm listening to stuff and I'm saying, well, this stuff is kind of good. Let me go ahead and complete uploading these videos that were in my files by making a new album that features that material. Some of the material goes as far back as, when is this? 2006. There's a track on the new album Abstracts that comes from this Parallel Views, which is a private. There's only one copy, mine, but there's a track on here called Clacks, like click, clack, click, clack. It's one of the first attempts at making a music video that I made. So that video is all shot with an old camera of mine around the house and stuff. And then I saw that there were several tracks where I couldn't even remember them, but yet I'd made video for them. So that's what this stuff is on Abstract. You're free to download it for free where it says name your price, put a zero. But like some people are paying me full price for it. Thank you very much, and I'm honored. I'm glad that you like my work. Again, frankly, when I pulled this, because I was looking for the music for clacks, as I was saying, well, where's the track for this? Because this is so old that I don't have the original stems anymore. Come on, Mike, what's up? What's up? As a few computers ago, where I would try to back up these files. You see that flickering? I don't know why it's doing that, and I don't have them. I don't know why this is doing this. Is it the light going about to go out? So anyway, and then speaking of that, I have a session today with Cubby. I was able to get Cubby to schedule a recording session, so he's coming over. Of course, Blake got wind of it. I let Blake know, and that supposedly he's going to come over too. Maybe that's how I can get things to move forward. But it's a big part of what I do with my time is create. I do that much more than watch movies. I tried to watch some movies recently, and again, it's just like I got halfway through something that's like, well, I know what's going to happen here. Cheers. Yeah, we have some kind of issue with this lamp. I don't know what it is. So, to move on to just showing a little bit of music, I do want to, come on now. I do want to comment on the passing of Jimmy Carter. Rest in peace. He was a decent man. He was a humanitarian. Whatever, the first thing that small-minded, well, that's my way of putting it. I think it's small-minded of people the first thing they do is criticize others, especially someone in a position like the presidency where, okay, I may sound like a hypocrite, but not, because the person who's about to become president has no business being president. Jimmy Carter, on the other hand, appeared to actually attempt to do the job. And on top of that, he was humane. He was humanitarian, which is, I'm all about that, being a decent human being. I have a story, a quick one. Back in my old job at Community Alliance, when I was working in the day program, running groups for adults in mental health rehab, one of my proud moments is taking a group of my clients to go see Jimmy Carter speak. He came to Omaha in 1987 for some reason, possibly to do with the tornado we had been hit by really bad. But I remember that. What I remember about it was how much it meant to the people I took, as well as me. It was like Jimmy Carter's presence was pretty cool, and that's just he was a decent, simple man. So may he rest in peace. So to move on to music, because I need to go ahead and pick some breakfast before Cubby arrives. We'll see if Blake comes. I bet you Blake does show up because Cubby's coming. People are funny like that, aren't they? Don't want to be left out. Of course, when I would go directly to Blake, let's do something, it's like, he might show, he might not. So Richard Johnson of Lumberton Trading Company, if you see this, I have listened to the new Michael Cashmore, Until the End of Vibration. It finally arrived. I guess it had been on its way for a while, and the mail can be strange like that. I keep trying to send the Canadian stuff, and there's still no service on this side, even though the strike supposedly is over. But to get back to this, when I spoke to Richard about this, letting him know my initial impression was like, okay, I'm going to have to come back to this. Okay. This is different. And Michael Cashmore is someone who I'm familiar with his work with my friend Joe Budenholzer in Backworld and Current 93 and stuff like that. I know that my friend Joe and also David Tibet from Current 93 are into this. Well, I don't know this, but I gather that they're into arcane or rather old old religions and old philosophies, I think, to do with the church. Don't quote me, but I think that's something to do with it, because there's that element in their music, and I hear it on this. This is all instrumental. It's 23 short tracks like I do, like vignettes. It's like, here's the idea and we're done. Some of this sounds like church music, but an old church, like I don't want to say Gothic, just something out of the past, but not all of it. But some of it is almost beautiful, but it's cold. It strikes me as cold. How was that? That was on the third listen. And I think this is good, but it's like, I'm not sure what's going on here. So like some of these titles, suffering is the essential path to divine love, transcending all states of consciousness, the eternal universal vibration. You know what I mean? I don't want to say that I think it's pretentious. I think that it's like there's some kind of psychodrama going on. That's the word that came to me. It's like, if I heard the story behind this, I think there's something going on internally with the person working some stuff out, and it's coming out in this music. It's interesting. I will actually come back to it because it's like some of this is close to what I do, except my music is warm. Necessarily so, because it's an expression that I'm needing to. I think that Michael needs to make this music. I wonder what it's about, though. It's good, though. It is good. It was like, at my first listen, I was like, what's going on here? So, check it out. You might really like it, Michael Cashmore. Something else I started to listen to, because like I have actually been in the studio quite a bit these last few days, was some Red Crayola. Their first two albums, The Parable of Arable Land and God Bless the Red Crayola and All Who Sail With It. This stuff was way ahead of the times, very, very psychedelic. It had these tracks called Freeform Freakouts. It starts with, and then it's their interludes. Excellent. It's like, man, they were getting it right back then. Psychedelics is nothing new. I got a few other records I can show you because, again, I do play music much more than I sit around and turn on the TV or turn on the computer and just look. I usually combine my computer time with listening to music, okay? And here's something that was sent to me by John Coltrane 68. If you see this, friend, long time. I hope you're okay. Hello. Anima by Kenneth Knudsen. One of those obscure keyboard-oriented albums on a small label that I love to find. And I think some of the other people that watch this channel are like me. We like discovering stuff that's off the beaten path, because so often we find really good stuff. And this is one of them. Is this, looks like this is possibly Swedish. Okay. And he's working it out on the synthesizers and piano. There is a Pal Mickelborg is mentioned on the back here, but I didn't listen to the whole album. I didn't hear any horn. This is good. Some of it is almost fusiony, like Chick Corea, and then other things are more ambient, like The Picture. This is very good. It's one of those things that I like to find. There's a lot of records like this where they were artist created or small run, and they're really good. Here's one where I just always overlook it because I don't know, but I finally played it and I'd forgotten how good this is. Master Cylinder, a band from Fort Worth, Texas. Is that right? Yeah. Fort Worth, Texas, Master Cylinder, Elsewhere. On the Inner City label, this is 80s. This is very good. It's an American instrumental band playing in the style of Canterbury. They do make moves like National Health, Henry Cow, those bands, but they don't imitate them. You can hear where they were inspired by that approach melodically and rhythmically. It's a lot of diversity here. There's a sense of humor to some of the tracks. Really well played. Interesting that they only made this one album. It's really quite good. I didn't look these people up, but they play so well that I would imagine that they have other stuff that they've done musically or are still doing. Master Cylinder. Kind of a nondescript cover. I think that's another reason why sometimes I'll kind of overlook things. While I was putting together my abstract album, I actually bothered because I found a track that I was thinking, did I put that out? And I couldn't. It was Freet, last song on side 1, and I hadn't played this in a while. And it's like, this turned out good. This is a good album. I also had someone contact me who had bought a CD. I had messed up and sent a blank envelope with just a cardboard, but he also informed me that he had ordered Future Still. And I explained to him, well, when you order that, I don't get it. It goes to the label. But that got me to thinking about how I hadn't played this in a long time. And one of the joys of having the vinyl is for the personal experience of dropping the needle on this stuff. This is good. I do have my own sound and style. I do. Very thankful for it. It's what I wanted. It's what I wanted. I think someone had mentioned this artist, thinking in relation to Inner Image. Yasushi Yamashita, or maybe it's another Japanese artist that they said that my song Childhood reminded them of this guy's style too. Somewhat playful at times, but ambient. This is really cool. This is a reissue. Inoyama Land, Danzenden Pojidan. It's impressionistic. It's instrumental. It goes through various scenarios and moods. Not all the same at all. Really enjoyed this. This is really good. And I have another one that I played. Let me put them together. Yeah. Inoyama Land. Commissions, 1977 to 2000. So I played both of these all the way through. I love stuff like this. I highly recommend it. The image is very indicative of what you'll hear. And this is also beautiful. It's a beautiful, clear vinyl pressing. That reminds me, I did actually go back and listen more to the Peter Gabriels that were given to me for Christmas. And overall, except for the silver one, they're really actually very quiet. They are. It's like, oh, wow, this is colored vinyl, and these are really quiet pressings. Security is exceptional. Hadn't played this in a while, and this was just wonderful. Mark Isham, the trumpeter, film music on Windham Hill. So these are records that, again, as El Bicho Feo says, cheap heat. You can find these records still for nothing. This is wonderful. Music from several different films, a lot of different ideas, and not commercial at all. Really good listening. Real good listening. Bill Douglas is on here. Lyle Mays is on here. Peter Manu. This is really good. Mark Isham. Then there's the Peter Gabriel. I also played 12-inch single both sides. David Sylvian, Silver Moon. I love his aesthetic, audio and visual. Very artistic. Sophistication, elegance. Those are words that I associate with that sound. I love it. I love it. It makes the atmosphere change in a good way. This was a blind pull, because I probably wouldn't have played it if I wouldn't have pulled it if I'd looked. But I played it anyway because it was a blind pull. Beatles for Sale. And I've always loved this cover. We didn't have this one when I was a kid. We had the singles. And what was interesting while listening to this was how the way I listened to these songs as a kid, it's like, as a child, these songs are about girls and relationships for the most part. And it's like, as a kid, it's like that was really abstract to me. And it was like just words. And so it's like, it was interesting now that I'm an adult. And it's like, some of these songs, like it's interesting that they were really popular with us little kids, but it's very adult in content. Love the Beatles. I love this. I love the recent O2 Arena concert that Paul McCartney did and Ringo came out on the drums. I think that's beautiful because that's possibly one of the last times that we'll see the Beatles, any of the Beatles play together. It could happen again, but if they're all in their 80s, which reminds me that I haven't found the official notice, but Barry Phillips, bass player who I have on ECM Records, wonderful players, understand that he passed away in his 80s. It's just that time. Here's another one where I'm glad I kept it. Way better than what I remembered. Kit and Coco in Time from the band Happy the Man, Kit Watkins. And Coco Roussel? Yep. Yeah, this is the shit. This is that kind of instrumental, sort of progressive rock, sort of fusion-y sort of writing and playing that I really like. It's fresh. This still sounds fresh. This does not sound dated at all, not even sonically. Kit and Coco in Time. I love it when that happens, when I go to old stuff and it's like, yeah, because I've played some stuff here where it's like, has it been that long? Because I'll hear it and it's like, well, I was young when I was listening to this, because it almost sounds like it's like kid stuff to me now. Jean-Paul Sartre Experience is what comes to mind. I still like the record, but it was like, the guy started to sing, it's like, man, I was listening to this when I was way younger. Okay, another pull. It's like, I never play Radiohead. This is one I kind of forgot about. Seemed like it was kind of getting skipped over when it came out. Like people were, like the press were getting tired of Radiohead. This is really good. And it reminds me that the Smiles 2 albums that came out this year, if I were to make a list, which I'm not going to because I forget everything, but those go on. Those were best ofs along with the Shabaka. This is really good, and it's Radiohead. It's just, this shit is good. It's sensitive. Couple more. These go back a few days. Christmas, I think. Christmas Eve, Christmas night, as playing music. This was sent to me by someone in the BC. They were at the concert in San Francisco. They sent me a copy, John McLaughlin with Jimmy Herring. This is really excellent. And Jimmy Herring is no John McLaughlin, but he's a great player. And it really works, the two of them. His soloing on here is substantial. It's just like McLaughlin. This is really good. I also noticed this has really gone up in value. And one more. The radio department. I got turned on to these guys. Still don't know much about them, but this album is really good. This is just really good. Clinging to a Scheme. It's not shoegaze, it's not dream pop, but people kind of call it that. I don't know exactly how to describe it. I love that. picture of the guy getting a shotgun off of a gun, is it right? Getting a good hit. Is it a soldier? This is really repeatable. It just the way that the music sounds and the way it goes. I just really like it a lot. So that's where we're at on a Monday. 25 minutes. The time just flows. So last thing I'll say is on that last video I put up, Frangabon, that's an example where I'm using some material where I forget where I got it. And so I hesitate to put those up, because it's like I don't fully have permission to use all the footage. But again, it's not the purpose of trying to make money. And that's why I put the other videos on the Bandcamp. Because I'm not trying to appropriate other people's content. It's just, stuff that I found entertaining. And I'm sharing it with you. But the Frangabon track, the last video I put up here on YouTube, I love that piece of music and the bounce to it. Ghost and Bells said it has a bounce. Yeah. I just love it. And I don't know what it's about. I just, as that piece just came together, it's just like, I just really like this. And it's not vaporwave. I'm not a genre. Okay, let me be quiet. I hope the fellas show up today, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to doing some recording today. You have a good day, people.